Alright, let's have a chat about my second ever Ascension in Mcoc. This was so hard to think about. I've been thinking about it for about 2 days now, and it has not been easy in the slightest because there are just so many factors for Ascension. How much you like the character, how valuable the champion is in like war, battlegrounds, even any future content coming up. Just way too many things, right? But let's break it down one by one and let's see why each champion is a consideration for Ascension. Now, first up of my rank 5 characters, which I have 14 of them, excluding Moleman, is Lady Deathstrike. And I feel like Lady Deathstrike is one of the worst options for Ascension because she scales solely off of armor rating, and ascending her changes pretty much nothing about her armor rating, so it's just not a good idea. If you love her, then by all means go for it. She is a really good champion, so yeah, fun character, but just not really for Ascension. And next up is the man that has been causing me so many problems because of my love for him, and it is Spider-Man Supreme. I love this champion so much. He is such a fun character to play, and the more I play him, the more I just fall in love with him, right? He is so fun to use, his damage output is just broken with Mystic Dispersion, and he is such a monster on both attack and defense, which is just a perfect trait to have. And additionally, he gets a massive benefit from Ascension because of his low base health and his attack rating scaling really well with any percentage increase, which is for most characters, right? Except for Lady Deathstrike. But yeah, I think he is a great Ascension option. I think he is one of the most underrated champions in the game, and I feel like he will get a ton of use on both attack and defense. Now, next up is Longshot, who deserves his flowers so much, man. He is such a strong champion, especially on attack, but he is such a sleeper defender as well. He's just one of the best two-ways in the game, and I feel like he doesn't get enough credit. Nowhere near enough credit, actually. He is such a good buff controller, and he just has so much defensive potential as well. This man is just good everywhere, and I feel like his value is only going up and up and up as time progresses. So yeah, Longshot, one of the best Ascensions in the game, so if you have him, I would really consider him. And now it's Adam Warlock time, and this guy I feel like is the front runner right now. Adam Warlock is an incredible character, and I feel like people still need to realize that. He is so strong damage-wise, and his utility is just also kind of broken. He has access to permanent true damage and unblockable, which is so strong. He has pretty much guaranteed crits, which help bypass the very annoying mechanics of challenge rating, which reduces your crit rating at base, but he just doesn't care about that. He has massive furies. He has access to the stasis pod, which is so insane as well. This man just really has it all, and he is such a good champion on both attack and defense, but one of his drawbacks is his health is kind of low for a defender, so bumping that up with Ascension is going to do so much for him, and also a massive attack rating increase as well will also be amazing. So I feel like Adam Warlock is one of the best champions to ascend for sure. But now let's talk about Namor, and Namor is one of my favorite champions in the game. I have such a massive love for this guy, and I just, I really love Namor, man. I am a massive Namor simp, and I will stay that way for the rest of my life, right? But I feel like there are just better options for Ascension because he has such good damage output that like a rank 2 Namor would just be so much overkill, right? So I feel like rank 5 is good for now, but in the future he's going to be ascended for sure because that signature ability is a timeless one, and he is still an amazing champion. So yeah, not now Namor, but very soon. And now let's talk about Scorpion. Scorpion is one of the best champions in the game. I feel like he is a top 10 Ascension overall. And yeah, he's just great, obviously. But I feel like my science roster is very complete right now. So I feel like ascending him just wouldn't really do much for my account because I have Titania, I have Hulk, I have Silk especially, and I have Photon as well. So I'm not really too fussed about a science ascension. So yeah, Scorpion, you're awesome, but not you, unfortunately. But now let's talk about Warlock. And Warlock is a great champion, but I feel like he won't get too much like value from Ascension because he's currently a 7-star character. So yeah, easy pass there. And Moondragon is a great champion, severely underrated as well. But I already have Moleman Ascended, and I feel like he just covers so much ground that I don't need another skill Ascension. So Moondragon, you're awesome, but gonna have to pass for now at least. And Mr. Fantastic, I just realized I haven't made my video on him yet, so I guess spoiler alert. But yeah, he got my 4 to 5 Science Gem. Pretty cool character. A lot of utility, a lot of use still today. Still super underrated as well. But he's still very new to me, so I'm not going to ascend him just yet. And like I said, my science roster already pretty dang stacked. Now, the Overseer is already a 7-star character, and he just wants Sig 20, so that is pretty much enough to say no to ascending him. Vox is a great champion, also a 7-star character, and he is just a monster, right? But I feel like Adam Warlock has a bit more use than Vox, so if I were to take up any cosmic character, I feel like I would prioritize Adam Warlock over Vox. But yeah, Vox still super good, really easy to play, has some of the best damage output when it comes to degen. So yeah, he is a great champion, but just not right now, I guess. Hulkbuster is such a beast, man. He is so strong. One of the most underrated champions in the game, and one of the best power controllers in the game. I feel like he's genuinely the best one, but he just isn't talked about enough. But he's a 7-star, so I want to just target that Hulkbuster and maybe even rank 3 him as my first one. So yeah, Hulkbuster, you'll get your flower soon, man, but for now, you gotta wait a little bit. And we're down to Werewolf by Night, who I think really doesn't want to be awakened, so I feel like the 7-star is the play there. And Gladiator, who really is fun, but I feel like there is some things missing to make me want to take him up, right? So I'm gonna have to pass on Gladiator for now as well. So who are the best 2 to ascend here? I feel like it is Adam Warlock and Spider-Man Supreme. So where do we go from here? That's a great question. Here's where we go. We're gonna sit and think, and we're gonna be sad because we love both of these champions so much. They are both such good characters, so underrated, right? Adam Warlock gets way too much hate, and Spider-Man Supreme is so slept on that it's honestly sad. These champions are just perfect. I love them so much. So this is such a hard choice, man. They are both so good, and I cannot stand the fact that I have to choose between them. But it is decision time, and it is time to do the Ascension, and I go with Adam Warlock. I feel like he benefits a ton, and he will be useful for a lot of stuff, especially Battlegrounds, Alliance War, and maybe some future content as well. Additionally, I made a poll yesterday and he won it, so I feel like I had to do it. Not like had to do it, but I felt a lot more tempted to ascend him, right? But yeah, look at that, man. 60,000 health almost, like a ton of attack as well. Some pretty nice stuff there. And let me give you a bit of a sneak peek of his gameplay. So Adam Warlock, you just want to build up your sovereignty counter by doing hits. And if you want to play it safe, you can just drop your stasis pod to get a free opening, which I usually do at the start of the fight. And yeah, once you are like fully locked and loaded, his damage output is just so crazy. So here I dropped the SP2, we have a Fury buff active, and the damage output is pretty nice already. That is a nice 37,000 crit with just 1 Fury buff so far. And yeah, so far so good. That is the first cycle down, so we get a Fury buff as a reward for it. And now it's time to begin the second cycle. So let's go in, drop some hits into the block, and now it's time for sovereignty counter number 2. So I go for an intercept there, kind of get it, but now it's time for the closing sequence. So I drop a 5-hit combo, I drop the relic into the SP2, and this matchup is now over because check out that damage. It is pretty dang nasty. And yeah, Adam Warlock is just such a powerful damage dealer, and when you know how to play him really well, he is just such a powerhouse of a champion. So Adam Warlock Ascended should be a very fun time. Hopefully he has a ton of use in like every piece of content, and hopefully he has some future use as well. So let me know your thoughts on this Ascension, and who did you ascend as well? And yeah, that's about it for me.